Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, sit down, take a load off. Welcome to today's. What we're going to go through today is honestly, truly, utterly, without any shadow of a doubt, by far the best all-round training that really, really, really kicks ass in business. So buckle yourselves in. I'm really excited to be able to share what we're going to show you today and really get in deep about exactly where we're going to be going with this. So we might as well jump straight into it. Let me show you firsthand exactly what we're going to be breaking down today. Now, the simple thing is, let's get this on. Okay. For everyone who's here now, we're going to reveal stuff today. It's not going to be here just bumbling around. I want to get pinpoint. I want to get precise. I want to get singular at exactly what I'm going to be able to show you is exactly the things that you're going to be able to go off and do in your business forevermore. This is stuff that's really going to change the game in what you do, how you do it, and where you are within your business within literally a matter of days. Make sure you hang around to the end. There's a lot we're going to be going through, but each one's going to be pinpoint. One thing's going to be accurate. Hold your phone up to this, record it. I don't mind. Just make sure you go off and use this. Now, this is going to share how my clients, but after me, are making over £2,640 a day, utilizing at the core, at the base, 3 simple but effective methods. I'm going to break them down individually so that you can go off and use these for free, but hang around at the end because I want to offer you something extra that can help you along with business. But I want you to get value from this first. Is that fair? If you're excited to get started with this, please stick around because I give you my absolute word. What I'm going to pour into you today is going to make the massive difference within your business. Now, my mission is to enable every single business owner, salesperson, high ticket closer, coach to sell to the highest caliber. I genuinely vibe on seeing people, and I'm going to show to you firsthand the people that have been there before you, firsthand the people that had the doubts, that didn't believe it could work. This isn't some crazy get-rich-quick scheme. This is pinpoint, behind the curtain, accurate strategies that work, that million-pound businesses, multi-million-pound businesses, people have gone from zero to hero, and how I've helped them do that. Now, for over 20 years, I've been in sales, and I've sucked at it, and I've mastered it, and I now show others the deals from between the gaps, from inside those slots that most people don't have out there. Now, the big thing is, and this is the key thing, this is a genuine stat, 94% of people that consistently apply this training get more results. 94%. Now, some of the results you're going to see are not typical for every single person. And you'll understand why when I show you. But the only reason I'm sharing this with you today is if you're going to actually go off and execute what I actually show you. In every situation in life, we can half do this or we can fully go at it. This is why sales and business training is different. It's completely and utterly results-based. And I want you to realize the results are real, the people are real. And if anyone else can do this, like me, anyone else can. I mean that. This is not some corny line just to throw your way to make you feel better today. This is actually serious stuff. One of my clients, $997,000 in sales last year. Would you think, okay, that's great. Why does he need someone's help? That's why. $6.4 million in sales within under 6 months of working with me. Imagine if you got a 700% increase within a space of a few months. Put a 1 in the chat, a 1. Just put a 1 in the chat if you would like to see those type of results. 700% increase. Yeah, exactly. Right. This is why you're in the right place. This is exactly why you are actually here. Most people would be happy with already doing 997,000 in sales. He was happy. His company was happy. But they knew there was more that was possible. They knew to get to the next level would take new actions. Now, there's loads of success stories I can show you about this. And this is what I mean. This is not something which is brand new. This is something which I used myself and shown everyone else. We've took the creaks out of it and really got to the stage, but you can implement this for yourself. Look at someone like Jeremy Jacobs. Already doing well, multiple business owner, but he knew if you want to get to the next level, you want to bring someone in that's got that skill set, right? You know an area you're not strong in, you bring someone in for there. I mean, they love the passion, they love the drive, but they love the results even more. You look at Jeanette. The one-to-one help that we went through has paved the way for her and her business, paved the way for her to get the very best out of where she wants to be. Tommy, literally everything he now has been complemented by having the foundational skills, the small details, those little things. Like I said to you before, deals are made within the cracks. The little bit here and the little bit there, the one saying here, the one phrase there, the structure here, the structure there. Tommy's got that now, and Tommy's going to use that for the rest of his life. Remember we said 94% of people out there will get more results by utilizing the training. 94%. So imagine 100 people in the room, only 6 wouldn't see an improvement. And I think those odds are pretty darn good. Now, if you're here today, you're likely doing some of these things. You're either getting ghosted, people aren't returning the calls, they're disappearing, whatever that might be. You're working long hours. And listen, we all know this. Working those long hours without the results, you start thinking this is normal. You start thinking substandard results are normal. Or you're just getting these lower conversions and you know other people out there are killing it. Not the people that are pretending to get great results. The people that you know. Those people that are actually killing it, that are actually smashing the life out of things. Now, this is horrible because it gets us feeling in a certain way. We start wondering, we start doubting, start wondering why things aren't progressing. You might have had thoughts about giving up. And I want you to realize, again, that that is something which does happen. We start having those negative thoughts because you start thinking, this is not what I signed up for. And we get stuck and tired of setting a target and not hitting it. We start thinking, is there any point to setting them up? And I want you to realize, if you're thinking those, you are in the right place. Now, for me, to say I sucked at sales is an understatement. Yes, I sucked at sales. I didn't like sales. I was not a natural salesperson. I overspoke. I mumbled. I spoke at 150 miles an hour. I didn't have any structure. I didn't have any guidance. I didn't have any understanding of exactly what to do. It took me ages to realize there was a process behind every successful person in sales. You've got to realize sales is the best paid industry out there for the people that get to the top. It really is. And the people even halfway down are far better off than someone else. Now, I had no idea. I had no clue the structure that was behind things. I had no idea of how much rejection after rejection after rejection was going to get thrown my way. The amount of doors had been slammed in my face. That gut-wrenching fear of failure, feeling of failure over and over again. And then I found out sales wasn't what I thought it was. Now, if you can relate to this, if you can relate to what I'm saying now, put a 1 in the chat, a single 1, just a digit. Yeah. This is the thing, right? If you feel like you're stuck out of options, you're not too sure where things are going to go, I want you to realize, anyone out there that's finding excuses instead of deals, it doesn't have to be that way. It's a habit you're in, and we can help you break that with absolute ease. If you're doing the same things over and over again now and getting low results, you start doubting, you start thinking no one's getting good results. And I want you to think about this. Imagine right now, 0 being the worst you could ever be, 100 being you at your potential, your very best, the best you will ever be on the planet. What score do you give yourself now? Hopefully no one's going to go off and give 100, right? Say you're at 30. Say you're earning 60K a year. You're at 30. What are you going to get to 40? How are you going to get to 50? How are you going to get to 60? Take those new actions. That's what we're here to do today. And if you're watching other people thinking, why not me? This is a recipe for disaster because it doesn't help you. It's not meant as harsh. There are two things. You sell a person the product or service. You sell yourself and a reason why it didn't happen. Now, become your potential. I want to help you get to that stage. Now, what you're going to learn today is pretty simple, but really effective. I'm going to help you get to that winning mindset. I'm going to get you back believing in yourself, back realizing where you can go with your life, where you can go with your business, where you can go with your sales, what you can do within your results. I'm going to show you and break down in more detail a 4-tiered system that will help you generate more leads, not some fluff, actual this, then this, then this, then this. That clear. I'm going to show you how to increase your sales once you've got those leads in. And then off the back of that, how to scale out those results inside of 90 days. All of this is here to help you. But there's always going to be things that you're not going to want to do. I don't want you feeling like this is going to be pick up the phone and do 500 calls a day. Phoning those same old tired leads that are sicker to death of your voice and don't even want your product. I don't want you thinking I'm going to make you dance on TikTok. Everyone knows who's ever known me. I'm no dancer. Now, if you want to dance on TikTok, good luck to you. I want you to become so strong with your message, so strong with what you do, you can conquer the best out there. There's people out there now. There's a lawyer on TikTok that's got 4 million followers. The barber that's got 8 million. So there's salespeople, people making 500,000 from their phone. It's about the skills that we've got and leaning in on those skills. Now, if you want to ever concern you're probably thinking about, that feeling like a sleazy salesperson. Sales is not sleazy. When you're doing it weakly, when you're doing it ineffectively, when you're doing it to the wrong people in the wrong way, that's why they feel sleazy. And that's why you felt sleazy. You felt sleazy before because you had a heavy red personality pitching you as a yellow personality and pitching you with the wrong way. So you felt uncomfortable. That's not sales. That's ineffective pitching. And there's a dramatic difference. We've got access now to the internet, to the world. There's a strategy behind every successful action. If that's true, all you need to do is learn it. All you need to do is apply it. And that is where the success will come from. Okay, so let's jump into this. When we're talking about finding blind spots in current pipelines, every business has them. Think of it like this. Imagine you're LeBron James. You've got a great scoring average already. There's the little tweaks make the big differences. It's the little changes that you make. A slight turn here, an adjustment of a hand there. No one purposely gets low results. We can agree on that, right? No one, you're not going out today and going, I'm going to suck today. I'm going to over pitch. I'm going to overcomplicate things. I'm not going to communicate right. I'm going to say things in the wrong way. I'm purposely going to put people off that aren't just exactly the same with me. But that happens. Now, there's a 3-step process that you need to get effective at doing. Now, every successful business out there gets this right. Every single one. Now, one thing you'll be thinking, if you're thinking right now, I close every deal that comes my way, I've got a 100% conversion rate. You are not talking to enough people. You're waiting for the deal to fall into your lap. That's the other side. That's the big difference. That's the whole reason people can get that. If you could get a 100% conversion rate and scale it effectively all the time to any person, you'd have the biggest company on the planet. Now, our perspective is everything. And this is a lesson I learned really early on. I remember one of my first sales jobs. Well, it wasn't one of my first. It was about my 4th sales job. I've been in it for a couple of years. I was doing all right, making 85, 90,000 a year. Things going well. And I'm moaning and griping, just as salespeople do, that I couldn't get any more deals. That I needed more leads. I needed more clients. You can probably relate. And one of the senior sales guys come over, he heard me, And he literally, bang, threw £500 on the table. He went, I will pay you £500 to let me go into your database and find deals. If I can't get a deal in the next 48 hours, I'll give you £500. Now, high ticket sales, you get good commission, so it's easy for him, right? All he's got to do is get that deal. He knows it's worthwhile, but he likes to put himself under that pressure. I laughed. I was like, there's no way. There's no way you could go into my database and get more deals. He said, take the bet. So I did. And I cockily and immaturely wanted him to fail. I believed he was going to fail. He took 3 deals out of my database in literally less than 4 hours. But I'd been talking to these people for ages. So what was the difference? No crazy promises. I was listening to his conversations. He just did different things in different ways. Now, some people would be annoyed. I was a little bit. I won't lie. But here's the lesson. It made me realize that there's always something extra in there. It made me take a step back from the way I was doing things. It made me break down in more detail exactly what I needed to do. It changed my mindset truly forever. And I want you to realize that as fast as possible, as fast as you can, that if that's happened to me, it could happen to anyone. It does happen to us. I was lucky that it got shined on such a bright light to me. I am lucky. I am grateful that this guy made that bet. I could have spent the rest of my life without realizing. Probably a bit extreme, but you get what I'm saying. I want you to get this. I really want you to, I cannot stress this enough. Imagine right now we clicked our finger and the greatest, most relatable and charming and friendly salesperson on the planet came into your business right now. With the clients you've got, how many upsells could they get? With the prospects you've got, how many deals would they get? What would that be worth if you could find that person? 10,000 a month, 100,000 a month, £1 million a month, more. You could be that person. I'm going to share a couple of things with you on this. Break it down to the most simple and granular level. Step 1. I want you to take your pipeline, break it into 3 different sub levels. First one is when you last spoke to them. Your next one is the reason for not buying. And number 3, what their buying type is. Right, let's break this down a little bit more. When we're talking about your pipeline, we're not talking about people in your database. We're not talking about people that are leads. In pipeline is in people you fully pitched, people that showed an interest in your product, people that were going to go ahead. They got to the stage of a call, a follow-up, something like that, right? But they didn't buy. Think about when you last spoke to them and put yourself in that person's shoes. I want you to think about what could be, if you can take yourself out of your own business, this is the thing. What would be the reason they wouldn't have gone ahead? Belief in you, belief in the product. That would be normally 2 of them. Or they didn't see a high enough level of value to the price that you charged. You might see the value because you know your product's far greater than them. But I want you to think about it now. If you were to hand over the money right now for your product, for your service, what would be your level of concern? What would be your level of doubt if you didn't know you? It doesn't matter who you are. That's part of your personal brand. It matters what they know of you. Now you've got an idea of what those objections could be. Now you've got an idea of how to follow up in a conversation with them. But here's the most vital part. If you're going to go out and buy a simple book, something nothing to do with me, something that could help you for less than £15. It's a book called The Color Code, COLORCODE. And it's by Taylor Hartman, PhD. Now, if you don't believe me about this, it's literally right here. I'll turn the light. The color code. Why am I showing you that? Because then when you're just thinking, it's just a load of crazy old stuff. What this does, it breaks down the personality type. The personality you've got now, the reason you buy a product, the reason you buy a service, the reason you get annoyed, the reason that you get put off is not the same as everyone else. The color code breaks this down. You need to understand, there's a great phrase, a great saying. If you can see through John Smith's eyes, you can sell what John Smith buys. And right now, if you're selling someone who's really analytical and you're trying to go down your route because you're very relationship, and don't tell me that you can't change, you can. You will put them off because they need more stats rather than getting to know us. On the flip, if you're really analytical and you're selling to someone really relationship, learn to take an interest in people. Get them to let them get to know you. Be able to tell stories better instead of showing graphs. These are vital things that you need to go off and do. Now, work out how your follow-up process will work. There was a great stat that was done by Oxford University. And Oxford University, very prestigious. This stat said that there's an 873 rule, and it said 73% of buyers need clarification on 5 or more points before buying. At this point, only 8% of the sales force, salespeople, business owners are still asking for the order. That means for 73% of buyers, you need to go through 5 objections first. Most people give up after 1. Most people give up after 2. Most people are not even in the park at 3. But 73% of your buyers need that. So you know your buyers. Now you've got your objections. Now you know how to handle them. Now you know the way to say it because you're buying types. You can go off and hunt out these deals. I want to keep things simple. I want to keep it effective for you. Go off today and work out that. Go out today, do some research. Go out today and work out a plan to re-engage these people. Don't follow them up and don't talk to them about what happened before. You're taking them back to that state where they said no to you. Give them a big reason. Break the concentration. You have to interrupt their current state. You need to add value so much that there is no other choice than they can doubt, no doubt in their mind, but they would choose you. Once you've got that and you've made it, I mean it, undeniable that you are the best option. You've got to be bold. You've got to be clear. You've got to be absolute. And then the final step off the back of this. You've got to ask them and you've got to qualify them. Utilizing a hypothetical question is one of the best things to do. Hypothetical questions are the key to move it through into a successful closure of a deal. If I say to you now, are you hungry? Yes or no? Do you want to go to dinner? Yes or no? Or if I say hypothetically, if we were going to go and eat right now and you could have anything out there, what would you eat? You're going to think more openly, more honestly, more truthfully about what you would actually have because there's no commitment. And when you know exactly, just like we said earlier, if you can see through John Smith's eyes, you can sell what John Smith buys. If you ask the right hypothetical questions, you'll know how to move forward. Now, when we're talking about this, when we're thinking about this, when you think about people like Sarah Eden, amazing, expert in her field, done some of the biggest films on the planet, worked for the biggest names on the planet. As you can see, being in marketing for years, I was already effective. The skills I learned took me to the next level. Sarah's got a massive reputation. Within 6 weeks, opened up a waiting list because she was at capacity, using exactly the same things. Now, there's going to be a few common objections, and I know you're thinking these. If you don't believe right now that you can get to the next level, that's where you need to start, and we're going to help you with it. And believe me, I know, I understand it. I'm someone who suffered with a complete mental breakdown. I lost my business. I lost my life. I didn't lose my life, nearly lost my life because of it. If I can do this, you can do this. You might believe I don't have the answers. Hopefully that'll get cleared up with some of the stuff we're going to talk about today. Or go to Instagram, go to @TheSalesAngel, right? Go to Tusta, Tusta, the Ultimate Sales Training Academy.biz. See some of the stories. There's a lot that we can show you to prove you how I can help, to see if I'm a fit for you. You might feel that other people out there are too far ahead of you. That might be true for you, but it's not true in life. And you have to realize there's always going to be people that are further along. But every day you delay, more people are coming past you. Let me tell you a story real quick. So there's a guy in the UK called Roger Bannister. If you go back, we're going back early days, a long, long time ago. They believed it was humanly impossible for a human being to run a 4-minute mile, to run 1 mile under 4 minutes. Google it, check it. They say that the heart will physically explode. You will die if you tried and pushed your body to that limit. Roger Bannister then did it. Here's the interesting thing. Within a year of him completing it, within a year, bear in mind, it had never been recorded before, never done by anyone. Within a year, another 45 people did it. Everyone has doubts. It's not about the doubts. It's about showing you what else you can do. Now, the other objection you might have, you might not be comfortable handling objections. But again, that's because you're not effective at it. And we're going to show you the simplest and most effective ways for you to go through that. Now, why would you want to listen to me? Not just because I've got a set of wings. I wouldn't listen to me because of that. Now, I sucked at sales for years. As I said to you earlier, didn't understand it, had no effective training, the optimum on effective. I hadn't learned the right way. Everyone told me I had to spend 10,000 hours doing this and 10,000 hours doing that. It's not true. You don't need to do that. There's a huge amount of impact you can make in your life with 10 hours of effective work done in an effective way. Now, I failed at school from when I was 14. I was only in school 1 day a week. Some people will say school failed me, but I'm called to take the responsibility. I never really tried. I never really pushed. I never really felt focused with it. I didn't see the benefit. So I'm not sat here now with a backlog of high-end qualifications. As I mentioned earlier, I had a complete mental breakdown resulting in me losing everything nearly my life. To the extent I ended up going from everything to literally almost sleeping pretty much in a car with nothing, no home, nothing. The business gone, everything gone. So if I can pull that back, if I can come back from that, from where you are now, you're ahead. Believe me, you're ahead. And another thing which a lot of people don't realize, I suffered with crippling anxiety for years. Missed one of my best friend's weddings at the time. Lost that friendship for life. But again, that's not the case now. So if you can relate to that, if you are someone who thinks, do you know what? This sounds familiar. I don't blame you. Now, where am I now? And why do I think that I can actually help? That's the interesting thing. And that's what I want to show you. So if we go from everything's great, hero of my own life, not hero for everyone, but hero of my own life, everything was great. Complete breakdown, lose everything, nothing left, no money, had to lose literally every single possession. Imagine everything you have right now, bang, and it's gone. You have to start from scratch. I'm back. I'm actually stronger and better than before. I'm more mentally capable, physically capable. I'm smarter, faster, stronger. Not to show off, I just am, and I'm proud of myself for that. But it's all about the practical steps and lessons out there. So wherever you are now, and whatever you're going through right now, I can help you move forward. Now, for me, when I was rebuilding, my goal was to impact your lives, yes, but I wanted to take advantage of how great the world we are in, and I want to be able to have that ability to have my impact from anywhere in the world, and all I would need is a laptop and a phone. What I provide to you will enable you to have those skills, but you can talk to someone effectively stood on a beach in the Bahamas with the rolling seas, with a beautiful sky and the golden white sands. Sand between your toes, on a phone call, being able to close a business. How to do all the small things that you need to get to that next stage. People out there, like Ray Granda, already was doing well. This isn't just about people that are new in sales. I'm not just trying to find new people. I'm trying to find the people that want to get to that next level. So who is this training for? So imagine you're a solopreneur or you're new in business. You're wearing all the hats and you're juggling it all. You get overwhelmed, you're getting lower results, and it's a struggle. I will help you become more effective. The training today will help you become more effective within your business. If new people, but you've got no structure at all, is typically the way, or you just inherited someone else's structure. That often won't work unless it's been laid out in a clearly established way by an expert to follow. Now, you might be a seasoned vet and thinking, okay, well, this has just been a new fish, and it's not true. People like Ray, like you saw a minute ago, the guy that had nearly $1 million in sales, now sitting at 700% increase in under 6 months. Seasoned vets. There's always more you can get. That ceiling you're at right now is not your ceiling forever. We have to break through it, and I'll show you how. Or maybe you've got a sales team. You've got a business with a sales team, and it's like herding cats. And I know what that's like. And I get brought into business to help get effective results based off of their experience and their personality types, the whole lot. We can help you with that. Now, who's it not for? And this is for you. If it comes up with you, just feel free to leave. I don't mind. I can't help every single person. It's not the way to work. If people don't want to learn a new skill, there's no point in being here. If you're thinking, I've got a pill at the end that you can just pop in your mouth, drown it with a bottle of water, this is not for you. If you've got a closed mindset, you don't believe that there's a possibility of getting new things. If you believe that you're destined for failure, you won't put the effort in. You won't put the work in. And you won't you will not deliver on the results that we put in. You won't apply them. You won't execute on them. If you're a person who's just a yes man, a yes woman, or however you identify, where you just say yes and you don't go off and actually put the work in, I can't help that either. You've got to be someone who's prepared to move forward with things. And if you're someone who's just there to complain about how bad things are from where they were now to get to where they are now, if that's where you are and you're going to complain about where you are now, you're wasting the energy you need to move forward. It might not be your fault where you are, but it's your responsibility right now. Draw a line in the sand and we move forward together. This is what we're going to cover with you today. Every business has got some degree of blind spots, and this is how we typically find opportunities in there. And I'm going to give you a breakdown on how I do that. Money in the bank, how you can really suss out where to find those opportunities. How to reduce resistance in sales, one of the big things for a lot of people out there. And how to lay out a process that cuts down the customer journey, increasing your results. If you want to know all of that stuff, put a 1 in the group, put a 1 in the chat. Let me know that you want to see this, because this is the whole thing with this. This is about getting active. If you're not even putting a 1 in the chat right now and you're not committed to putting a 1 in the chat, you've got to think, how committed will I be to execute on this stuff? Going to really lay it down for you guys. Now, this one here, this is important. Reducing resistance in sales is vital. We're going to jump through this. I'm going to show you some more. There's a clear breakdown on some of the key things that the big successful businesses, big successful entrepreneurs, big successful people, how they get real strong conversion, how they reduce the resistance in sales. And I break them down to you over each and every single step. Jot these down. Number 1, you've got to set a clear intention. Too many people phone up willy-nilly, chat randomly, talk about their product, hope for the best. Some sales, there's a 1 call close. Some sales is a 2 call close. Some is a 3, some is a 4. Some are going to use tools. Some are going to use Zoom because they're very visual. But are you selling with your intention based on your needs or their needs? To get your intention clear. 2, before you start any sales presentation, before you go into any sales call, conversation, Zoom meeting, face-to-face, get your mindset right. I know my intention, but how does my mind process this? Does my mind believe I can do this? Utilizing Tony Robbins' priming exercise. Just go on YouTube. It is one of the best. Tony Robbins priming. Number 3, prep work before you get on any conversation. If they say yes on the call, how are you going to take payment? If they've got an objection and you want they're analytical, how are you going to show them something on the Zoom? Do you stutter when a hurdle comes your way? Prep is key. Next up, when you know that person, when you're on the call with that person, if you've already pre-qualified them, what's their personality type? If they're heavy red, How are you going to change that to if they're heavy analytical? If they're a visual buyer, how will you change your wording? But if they're a kinesthetic buyer, all of these things make the dramatic 1, 2, 3% difference on every sale. And when you've got 5, 10 different things that you effectively have broken down, you will become more effective. What's their buying history like? This is your next one. What's their buying history like? What have they bought before? What have they bought similar? If you're a coach, have they ever bought a course before? If so, who did they buy? If so, how did it go? What did they like about it? What didn't they like about it? Now you've been given a blueprint on exactly how to sell to them. Also, it will highlight any potential hurdles. If they've never bought a course before and you're trying to sell them a 10K course, you're selling them an investment for 100K, but they've never brought a 100K product before. There's a different muscle memory based off the back of it. Next up, pre-qualification is vitally important for you in your business. What are the key qualification identifiers that you have? Affordability, interest, decision maker, some of the previous things, buying history. Before you get on a sales call, sales presentation, anyone knows real estate, outbound phone sales, high ticket sales, car sales. One of the best things to do is to warm up. Imagine watching the World Cup final 1 minute before the ball is kicked, 1 minute before the whistle blows. All the players are sat on the sidelines, sat with their families in the stands, playing Candy Crush. We wouldn't expect the best, but we're not warming up. We're not doing the workout before the actual presentation. You're not getting loose. You're not getting the cogs oiled and greased and ready to go. And that takes us to our next one. Know the script, know the process, know what you're saying and when. Introductions, last 30 seconds. Then we pre-qualify, then we pre-frame. Then we go to the meat of the conversation. Then we pre-qualify again. Then we talk about things. Then we isolate any objections, right? Get your script together. I'm not saying be scripted, but you've got to reduce your resistance in sales. They will only get the same clarity of you. And if you're fumbling around different conversations, well, I like to base it around the person I'm talking to. No, you change your wording and your structure based on the buying type, but your structure behind that still works in an effective way. Know what objections can come your way. Prepare for it. If I'm going to travel from my house now and I'm going to go to Botswana, I wouldn't just randomly walk. You want to know what hurdles are going to come your way. What are the objections? See it from their eyes, their opinions, so that when they ask you, you can bring a lot of this up even in your sales pitch. Next up, have a pen and paper ready. Too many times people say something in a presentation and you're not prepared, so you cannot effectively help these people. A small one, which is a really important one. Practice names you don't understand. Ask him if you got it right. People have spent their whole life. People have a lot of value in their name. Get it right. It doesn't bother me if someone gets my name wrong, but I know for a lot of people it does, to get it right. Now, if you're new to it, unexpected things will happen. If you're experiencing sales, you know unexpected things happen. How do you handle that moment? How do you get a chance to gather your thoughts? That's a 6-second pause. It feels like a lifetime. You've got to be able to control your emotions in this process. Look at it like this. If you phone someone today and they don't answer, what do you do? Do you leave a message or you don't leave a message? You do leave a message. Great. What do you say? Hi, it's John from ABC about XYZ. Call me back. Or, hey, it's John. Call me back. Or, hi, this is David Angel from ABC Companies. You'll remember we had a call today about blah, 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 right? Think about what you're going to do. Now, this is for every situation. You think, oh, this sounds like a lot of work. It is. But we're in the greatest industry out there. Your clients, your potential clients deserve the very best from you. And I'll give you a prime example off the back of this. This is a prime example. When we look at someone like Ray even, one singular conversation, one phone call. He had a $283,000 deal Typical deal value would be about 60K, right? You already had a 283 deal on the table, but he knew that he could close. I whispered in his ears a few things. I went through a few things. I gave him some new steps, new path, new idea, new way of framing things. That one conversation turned into a 700,000 plus deal, 743, I believe, 748. That's one conversation, one call. That's why it is so vital to be so effective at what you do. Now, I want you to think about this. This one's only a quick one, but this is really important. If you haven't got right now a map, if I said to you right now, I'm going to jump through this screen, I'm going to be in your front room, I'll be in your office, I'll be in your phone, I'll be sat next to you, and I say, show me your customer journey. 1, do you have one? 2, when was it last updated? 3, what have you done to improve it? If you're sat there now and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have a customer journey. You do, you just don't have it clear. I just put a website up and people buy it and blah, blah. Like, it's not clear. Get real clear. Go get a big bit of paper. Really jot down the options. If this doesn't happen, this happens. And when this happens, this happens. And after this, this. And each one of those is like going in a rabbit hole. This is our email sequence. This is where it goes. After this, this happens. And then they come to a booking. And then once the booking happens, they get this reminder. And after this reminder, they get this. After this, they get off a bat. And this sequence happens. You have to lay out each of the processes for you and your business. The most effortless things you see on the planet are meticulously organized. If you've ever been to an amazing restaurant, calm. Absolute calm. You go to a top Michelin star restaurant, absolute calm. Anyone's ever been in a chef's kitchen, like a Gordon Ramsay Maze grill or wherever? You're sat in the kitchen at a luxurious table with some of the most finest food and drink on the planet. And the kitchen is calm. Not complicated. Every step is complicated, but everyone knows what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, who's responsible for what, and what timings of each point. You have to get this level of clarity within your business. Your clients demand this because competition out there is far too wide and broad for you not to be fully effective within the business at each level. Now, there's levels to this. You don't need to go down the rabbit hole at each point, at every point, but you need to have a clear structure. Then you work on it and work on it often. It's really clear why this makes a big difference. Now, we've talked about so far how to find some blind spots in your business. Really get clear on this. Really do take the time to get this right. Get out there today and really build out on that. How to reduce the resistance in your sales cycle, right? Setting the attention, get your mindset right, get the prep work done, the personality type, the buying history, pre-qualify them, warm them up, knowing your script, know your objection, recording yourself. Get a pen and paper out, take notes, practicing their names, plan for the unexpected. And the client journey. Now, when we're talking about the client journey, when we're talking about making the dramatic difference off the back of this, it is vital. It is vital, absolutely vital for each one of these sections to move you forward. Each one of these areas can seem complicated, but start at your tier 1. Your tier 1 is your basic foundations. Imagine you're cooking dinner. You don't go straight into cooking a 10-course meal, right? But you keep working on it, you keep improving it, you keep tweaking it, you keep adding to it. Too many people get a little bit of success, a couple of clients, and they stop. And that doesn't help you, doesn't move your business forward. I want you to remember this. If nothing changes, nothing changes. This is the big thing that we've got. And I want to ask you a question. Do you know that you are capable of more? Or do you think this right now, today, this is your best you're ever going to be? Is this the best results you're ever going to get? Here's one. If we stay with the knowledge we've got now, the execution you've got now, the effort you've got now for the rest of your life, would you feel like you missed opportunities? Can you earn more? Can you know more? Can you achieve more? And if you don't want to learn more, don't. But I'm just saying, if you're here, you do. If you're not achieving it yet, that's because either you're not making the effort. Let's help change that. Or if you are making all the effort and not achieving it, that's because you've got skills or knowledge or applications or methods that just aren't working for you. Or maybe you just need someone to be accountable for, which is something we really specialize with. Think of it like this. What's your worst case scenario? Worst case scenario, you go all in and you only see a 10% increase. That might be your worst case scenario. Is that worth it? But if you're earning 100 grand a year and you go all in and you make 10K more, great. That's your worst case scenario. What's our best case scenario? Imagine you go all in, you start earning 500,000 a year. Look at some of those clients I've got now. 500,000, 700K, £1 million a year. If that's the best case scenario and your worst case is say 10% more, is that worth the effort? I want you to realize, and I love this big hand, pointing straight at you. And I want you to be next. Realize this. If anyone can do this, if I can do it, anyone can. Bear in mind, failed at school, complete breakdown, lost everything, not qualified at school, literally nothing. I've done more books, I've done more courses in the last 7 years than my whole life combined. Huge sums. Courses that are £2,000 to £5,000, private coaching, groups, everything you can manage, online stuff, podcasts, interview, like everything you can imagine, reading the books, the whole lot. And now we take that cycle down so that you don't have to. Now, I want to give you some degree of an opportunity. Now, if you've sat around for this long, no BS, you know you want to change, but you'll have questions, you'll have doubts, you'll have concerns. And that's actually a good sign. But I want to offer you a continued strategy based off the 3 things we've gone through now. I want to help you build out that client journey. I want to have a chat to you about what we could actually do. We might be able to help, we might not. On this call in more detail, we're going to look at your plan, tweak the plan to see how you can get immediate results from within the business, right? Bear in mind what we said before, 94% of people that implement get more results. Which one are you in? The 94 out of 100 or the failing 6? Look at these people, real results, already killing it. Training so far has been clear. We've expanded the business. And the first thing we want to do is David with us every step of the way, right? These people now, I work with them every day now. Now I'm with them for a full year on a high grade basis using our Batman service. Not just our 1 year coaching, like full on. Training up 6 different people at the moment. Different areas of the business to give them results because we did so well at tier 1 levels. Sarah Eden put it so well. If you sat on the fence thinking, is this for me? You know you need a coach. Take the step, get the results, right? People like Tommy. And by the way, if you want to see these, I've got these in video results for people saying this stuff. This isn't me just randomly doing it. I don't want you going off now and feeling like you can't achieve this. You can. This is for you. Tommy says, if you hire David, you will get results. It's not an if, it's a when. Jeremy said, if you, as a business owner, it's important to find an expert in their field. And that's one thing about David. Clear about David. He's all about helping other people to succeed. Now, it all starts with a strategy session. If you sat on this for this amount of time, it's worth it for the call. There's always going to be things that are coming around, and there's going to be other stuff that comes about. And if after the call, there could be other things where we actually give people chance to work with us further. You just got to basically click book in. Like you said, it's going to be free. But realize, if I never had the people that worked with me, I would never have got to doing what I do now. So I want you to get out there, book the call, literally fill the forms out. When you come out, the slots out there, hit it, book in. This is something where this is directly going to be me over the space of the next week. So if you book it now, it's directly me. Not one of the team, not palmed off to someone. I want to be there to help people actually do it. I want to see people, more people every day moving through this to get you to the stage where you're getting results. Think back to the worst case, best case. What's the worst case scenario? We have a phone call, you get more solutions, you do it yourself. Best case scenario, you end up utilizing me over the space of the next year, and we get results like we've got for people like Ray and Sarah and Tommy and all those other people. 700% increases, 5 million, 5.5 million in results extra inside of 6 months. That could be you too. All you've got to do is apply. All you've got to do is take the step, right? If you're not prepared to go off and take the step, you're never going to see the results that you want to get. So go out from this now, click it, and I can't wait to see you on one of the calls.